Yes, guys, Larry from the GRP back again with another topic. And this topic, actually, I just came across this. I just thought it was really interesting. Um, Jonas from the Jonas Brothers, I don't listen to that kind of music. Well, I know some of you do. Um, he says that he was destroyed by losing Amazing Spider-Man role to Andrew Garfield. I had no idea that this guy was up for that role. I knew it was between Andrew Garfield. Oh man, I can't even. Maybe I'm thinking of the Tom Holland one actually, but yeah, I had no idea Joe Jonas was up for this part. So yeah, that's surprising. But anyway, this comes to us via IndieWire, and it says Peter Parker almost had a Camp Rock crossover. Pop icon Joe Jonas revealed that he auditioned to play the titular Marvel superhero in 2012's The Amazing Spider-Man before Andrew Garfield was ultimately cast in the role. I remember years ago, I was up for Spider-Man and I was so excited, and it was the year Andrew Garfield got it. Obviously, he was the right one, Jonas said during the Just for Variety podcast. I remember that was a big thing at the time, going back for callbacks, and the director used to be a music video director. So I was like, I got an in here. The Amazing Spider-Man director Mark Webb previously helmed music videos for artists like Miley Cyrus, Fergie. I haven't heard from Fergie in a while actually. Bands No Doubt, Maroon 5, and Green Day. Webb made his feature directorial debut with 500 Days of Summer. Jonas continued, in the moment, you're destroyed or you're defeated, but you realize the person who got the part was brilliant. But you know what? I love the process of auditioning and putting yourself out there and having to prove yourself. It should never be a shoo-in for anyone. The DNCE frontman currently stars in period piece Devotion opposite Jonathan Majors and Glenn Powell. I didn't even know he was in that film, actually. I obviously love acting, and it's something I have always wanted to get back into. And it was just like any other audition process, Jonas recalled, of landing the role. Put myself on tape and called back on tape, met the director, J.D. Dillard. We spoke about the project and it went from there. The musician added, when you have a wife like Sophie Turner, who is a phenomenal actress, the one filming you and directing you through it, you got to bring your A game. She's my toughest critic. Yes, I'm going to be a little nervous, but she's super helpful, and I feel like what a great acting coach to walk me through this. And I do have her to thank. It says, yeah, never mind about the rest. Yeah, I thought that was really interesting, actually. First of all, to know that Joe Jonas was up for that role of Spider-Man. Glad he never got it, though. Listen, not knocking his acting, but actually, I've never seen him act, so I can't really knock it or, say what a good actor he is. But Andrew Garfield was the right person for the job, and even he admits it as well. It's always hard when you get someone who's very known in another arena to take on a massive role like Spider-Man, because they're synonymous with whatever they were doing before, Jonas being music. And it's hard to separate them from that to another massive role, like Spider-Man. So that's one. But also Andrew Garfield was not a seasoned actor, but he was quite well known, and he was getting up there, in terms of work and popularity at that time. So I kind of feel like that he was the best choice for that role. And you saw what he did with the two films, especially the first one. I really liked the first one. The second one was a bit meh, but that wasn't Andrew Garfield's fault. The script was a bit ropey. I actually felt very sorry for Andrew Garfield when he lost the role to Tom Holland, even though Tom Holland is my favorite Spider-Man. But I did feel sorry for him, because obviously Sony had to deal with Disney, and part of that deal was they get to choose a new Spider-Man. So Andrew Garfield couldn't go forward with the role, even though he really wanted to. One thing I will say about what Joe Jonas has said about being destroyed when you don't get a big role, I can relate. I think a lot of actors can relate to that. But I can relate. Not necessarily destroyed, but when you like, I've auditioned for a few big roles, like life-changing roles like this. And when you're in with a shout, with realistic shout, you're like, wow, yeah, my life can literally change. And when you don't get it, the first couple of days, yeah, it's a tough pill to swallow. It's a tough pill to swallow, I have to say. It will be a bit easier, I think, for someone like Joe Jonas, who's already got fame and money, for that matter, in being a musician. So I don't think it's as hard a pill to swallow for him as it is for someone like myself. Not having reached that kind of heights in popularity or money, for that matter. Not really bothered about the popularity, it's more the money. But no, listen, I do it for the love of the craft first and foremost, you know what I mean? Otherwise I still wouldn't be doing it now. But yeah, I really related to that part of the story. I really relate. I've had a few big auditions. I had one about 2-3 months ago that was very life-changing. It was I don't want to say what it was for, but it was for a Disney Plus Turkey series, and it was for one of the lead roles there. And if I'd have got it, it would have opened up a franchise for me, which means that at some point I would have had a series on my character. So, as I said, life-changing. But, these things happen, and I'm a big believer of whatever's meant for you will come to you no matter what, and whatever's not meant for you will not reach you no matter even if you're this close. I'm a massive believer in that, and yeah, so I try to I let that temper my disappointment in not getting a role, be it life-changing or not. I let that temper my disappointment. So my and the fact that that's happened to me quite a few times now, so I'm better at dealing with it. Obviously, if you've had a few disappointing, a few disappointments, you get better at dealing with those disappointments. So yeah, but again, when I read this article, I thought I relate to that. And I'm sure a lot of you guys, who act can relate to it. And even in general, like, I'm sure there's a lot of opportunities that you guys have had in life. Could be anything, could be whatever field, and you were so close to it, and then you just missed out on it, and then you were gutted, as they say. But yeah, that's the way it goes. That's life, and you move on, to bigger and better things, God willing. So, guys, let me know what you think about this article about Joe Jonas being up for Spider-Man. The way he talks about it, it was like he was like down to the last two. So I'm quite surprised at that, actually. But yeah, let me know what you think. Do you think that he would have made a good Spider-Man? Do you think he would have made an even better Spider-Man than Andrew Garfield? I don't think so, but let me know what you guys think, please, yeah? Comment down below.